You are not invisible over 50. For those in the back, let me say this more clearly. You are not invisible. In fact, you're likely better and smarter than you've ever been. What's happening to you is not personal. It's structural. I've watched this very closely over the years. Think about how we learn ageism. It starts surprisingly young. When we're 30, people start talking about the fact that you're getting there. When you're 40, you joke about having senior moments. And that's dangerous because people are listening and they're believing you. When you're 50, you start getting novelty gifts from your friends like a walker, a cane, because now you're definitely over the hill. We laugh about it, it's funny, but really, it's not. It's the training for ageism, these social beliefs, these structural beliefs about who we are as we age. Let me tell you how this worked for one of my closest friends. She works for an international insurance company. She's been there for 3 decades. She had respect, she had trust, she traveled internationally to clients, and then she turned 55. At that time, the company was reorganizing and titles were changing. Her title was changed to something much more junior than she really is. When she questioned it, she was told that it was fine. There was no problem. There was no difference because she was being paid the same. However, the other people with these titles were generations younger, with much less experience. That was the first hit. I remember her calling me so upset. She was angry and she was grieving. She couldn't believe that it was happening. She asked, "How is this happening to me now when I have so much to offer, when I've given so much?" It creeps in slowly. It took her months to get over it. When she was finally settled, there was another restructuring. And this time, she was not invited to key meetings that she would have always been invited to. She was no longer in the loop on major projects, and she was denied deep information. Her exclusion was quiet and deniable. When she called me to tell me her latest news, she had no more fight left in her. She was exhausted from trying to prove herself, from trying to be heard. She was quietly ignored, and she began to have that feeling of being invisible. We spoke for a very long time, and then she said, "I think it's time for me to just go with the flow until I retire." I had never seen her give up that way. It was very disturbing. The funny part is, she still has a job. Executives around her consult her all the time for her historical knowledge of the company. They still rely on her judgment. But all around her, older employees were packing up quietly, without confrontation. So she learned the rules. Stay useful, don't challenge. Exit gracefully. So I guess she settled into that pattern. And this is why I believe so many people leave quietly. After decades of working, after putting their body and soul into the company, they finally are of no value just because they got older. My friend chose survival. "I need the paycheck," she told me. "I'll help where I can until retirement." She is now 63, and she is considered lucky. This is how people are quietly eliminated from their jobs and sometimes from society. Their titles are eroded. They're no longer invited to key meetings. They suddenly don't receive the information that their team is receiving. Younger, much less qualified people are promoted over them. And then they have to endure careless, ageist jokes from younger staff. This isn't accidental. This is how societies who worship youth operate. But you may say, it doesn't make sense. Why are younger people preferred when they have far less experience and knowledge than you do? The answer is simple. Younger workers are cheaper. They're more malleable. They don't question history. They are less of a problem, and they are easier to manage. They don't know what failed before. They don't argue with policies, and they move fast, even when it's wrong. This has been going on for decades, where people are just eliminated from their workforce, from their purpose. All of their contributions are simply forgotten. They leave thinking that they will remain in touch with the people who were closest to them in their work lives. But they soon discover that once they've left, they are very soon forgotten, apparently very easily replaceable. This is so distressing. And I've seen so many YouTube videos with people talking about how they were unceremoniously dumped from their jobs. Years of sweat, years of missing time with family, all just dismissed. But while corporations and society continue this narrative, science does not. It has been known for a very long time that there are two types of intelligence. Harvard psychologist Raymond Cattell and his student John Horn took a theory and developed it further and found these two types of intelligence. One is called fluid intelligence, and the other is called crystallized intelligence. Think about it this way. When you're young, you're like a sponge. You pick up all your information quickly, and you're able to move fast on the job. By your late 20s, your intelligence starts to shift. By the time you're 30, you're developing crystallized intelligence. Crystallized intelligence comes from experience. It is what helps you develop strategy, judge when things are right or wrong, recognize patterns in behavior or work, and gives you discernment. That only improves with age. It is proven that crystallized intelligence continues to grow until you're in your 60s. After that, it stabilizes till well after your 80s. How this works in the real world is that in organizations, young people take information at face value and implement them quickly. But older people analyze more deeply. They can spot where things are not right, and they can see long-term consequences. These skills protect organization, ensure value, and make sure that mistakes are not repeated. I think of it this way. You know that diamonds are formed from layers of carbon that are compressed for a very long time. It's the same with crystallized intelligence. Layers of experience and knowledge compressed over time. And the value increases over time. Our brains are like diamonds. That's what I like to think anyway. So you see where the lies are told. It says that older people are slower, can't learn new technology, and are resistant to change. This is garbage. Many leave feeling invisible, heartbroken, taken advantage of, erased. This is a travesty. But things are changing, and there is hope. Older people are actually well suited for roles that include strategy, wisdom, judgment. That means that they are perfect for teaching, consulting, innovation, advisory work, and leadership. New technology changes the equation completely. AI is that game changer today. This is a different time. Older people now have technology that makes them unstoppable. If this resonated with you, please like and subscribe. And remember, we're not done yet.